Hello everyone, I want to talk about some of the questions I received after my previous video titled, Is Israel Invincible? So let's look at the first comment. Are you saying in this video that the world needs to let Israel do what it wants? So that is not what I am saying at all. If you look at these wars, it started around 1920s and continued up to 1947. 1947, there was that huge Arab-Israeli wars, and literally all Arabs got united and attacked the Israelites, and they were defeated and they lost so much land. Then the next war, when that happened, the second war, again, they lost more lands. And then the third war that happened, they lost even more lands. Let's look at the outcome. Whenever you want to see the benefit of an action, you have to look at the outcome of it. It's not about making noises. It's not about creating an environment of gloat and lies around it. Let's look at the outcome. What is the outcome of what happened in October 7th, 2023? The Palestinians at this point have lost the control of Gaza Strip. And the situation of the Palestinians in the West Bank is much worse than it was before October 7th. About 50 to 100,000 people, no one knows the exact numbers. I would say anywhere between 50 to 100,000 people have lost their lives. Over 20,000 Palestinian children have died. 20, 30,000 women, God knows how many. I have no idea. The statistics, the numbers they give us I think is much less than the actual numbers. Looking at Lebanon, the same. Thousands of people have died, and there is a real possibility that Lebanon might lose control of its southern portion as well. So what I'm trying to say is that the outcome of all these wars is actually the opposite. So whenever you go to a war, you lose land and then you end up begging for it afterwards. So how is it logical? If you look at the same person, how are these actions justified? How are these actions logical, reasonable? They really aren't. They are just saying that, oh, we have to free this. Look, إِنَّ الْأَرْضَ لِلَّهِ يُورِثُهَا مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah says that in the Quran, that the land belongs to Allah. That land, the Holy Land, entire world, but that land, the Holy Land specifically, إِنَّ الْأَرْضَ لِلَّهِ. The Holy Land, that land belongs to Allah. Nobody is the owner of the land. And Allah makes whoever He wants inheritor of that land. So إن الأرض لله يورثها من يشاء. He causes whoever He wants, whoever Allah wants, to inherit it. So it doesn't belong to Palestinians. It doesn't belong to Israelites. In fact, none of these people were the original inhabitants of that land. If you look at the Bible, there were other people over there before the Israelites. The land belongs to Allah. He gives it to whoever He wants. At this point in the history, it's in our Quran. I read the verses, I put the videos. It's in the Quran. It's Allah's will for the Israelites to come back over there and to govern and to rule and to become superior. And they have become superior, to become above the law. That is the will of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. It's documented in the Quran in chapter 17 of it. I have been making videos about that since 2020. Sunni Muslims, Shia Muslims, they were making fun of me. They were calling me a Jew. They're saying you are a Jew for saying that. Now all of those people who were calling me a Jew, they are making similar videos saying the exact same things that I said in my videos in 2020. I'm not a Jew. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with being a Jew. Before Christianity, before Islam, if you go back about 3,000 years ago, at the time of Solomon and after the time of the Solomon, the true believers were called Jew. It means inhabitants of Judah. They were the true believers back in the time. They were the true followers of Allah and His prophets. There is nothing wrong with being a Christian. A true Muslim, a true believer is a Christian. You have to be waiting for the return of the Messiah. It's in the Quran. I have videos on it. I explain that. And a Muslim means someone who has submitted their will to Allah, to God. So are we a Muslim or not? That's the question. If you are a Muslim, you're saying that you have submitted your will to Allah, to God, to your Creator. If you have, then in the Quran, I went over the verses. I don't want to waste time going over those verses again. I put the link down there in the description. In the Quran, it tells you that that is His plan, to bring the Israelites from all over the world in the land, in the Holy Land, and give them power, political power, economical power, military power. It's a test. That entire thing is a test. Now Allah wants to see how they act. Will they bring about justice, or will they bring about injustice and oppression? If they bring about justice, then that is good for them. That's what the Quran says. And ahsantum لأنفسكم. If you do well, if you do good deeds, if you bring about justice, you do that for yourself. وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا. And if you bring about injustice, if you do bad things, you're doing that against yourself. And then Allah says, وَإِنْ عُدْتُمْ عُدْنَا. It means if you come back to this land, whenever you come back to this land, I will come back too. Allah is the same as Yahweh. It's the same person. It's the same God. It's the same individual, regardless of what other people say. This is not the first time. Israelites know that. Ask any Jew who reads the Bible, who reads the Torah, who reads Tanakh, the Old Testament. They know the stories of what happened during Assyrians or Babylonians or the Romans. The God is the same God. So this is the period for them that Allah, our Creator, has decreed that they will become superior, above the law. And they are superior technologically, militarily, politically. They have the alliance. They have a huge alliance. The entire world, America, US, Germany, France, the entire world, most of the entire world supports them. That's political power. How come the entire world does not support Palestinians or Iranians or the Saudis or the Jordanians, but the entire world supports the Israelites? That's political power. Let's go to the next comment. Sir, I respectfully disagree. It seems like you're interpreting the verses literally and adding modern assumptions. Israel is not supported by God, but breed as supported by the whole collective West. High time that Muslims should get out of this Bani Israel complex. The world is way bigger than Bani Israel and that temple of theirs. So again, the same thing. This is their political power, my brother. This is their political power. It's because they're superior, they're above the law. That's why they can go and destroy, raze Gaza to the ground and do everything that, then nothing happens to them. Now, do you think if Iran did that, if Iraq did that, if Saudi Arabia did that, the entire world will be fighting against them? But the Israelites, because Allah has I tell this to a lot of those people who believe they are Muslims, Sunni, Shia, regardless. You're not fighting Israel. You're fighting Allah. You're fighting Yahweh. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Your problem is not with Israelites. Your problem is with Allah. And I'm not talking about Akbar. Your problem is Allah, the God who sent Prophet Muhammad. That's where you have problems. Your problem is with God of Moses, God of Jesus, God of Abraham, God of Muhammad. You're in a war with him. He's the one who has done this. If you study Surah Rum and various other verses in the Quran, what does the Quran tell us? That all the affairs, لِلَّهِ الْأَمْرُ مِنْ بَعْدُ وَمِنْ قَبْلِ, says all the affairs from before and after, they're all in Allah's hand. So either you believe in that or you don't believe in that. بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ, the kingdom, the dominion of all things are in his hands. There is so many verses, I'm not even going to go over it. I think anyone who has any familiarity with the Quran, you know that everything in the world is in Allah's hand. It says a leaf does not fall without his knowledge. So if that's the case, then ask yourself this question. Just close your eyes. Ask yourself those questions. Who made America? Who made Europeans so powerful? Who made Germany, France, England so powerful? Was it the devil or was it God? Again, let's go back to the verse in the Quran. Was it the devil or was it God? Well, I can tell you it was God, right? Because we have to believe in the Quran. Even the devil himself acts under the control of God. If you read the book of Job, you're going to see that. Book of Job explains that to us. So it is God. It's God who has empowered Americans and Europeans. It's given them a lot of power. And it is God, it is Allah, it's Yahweh, it's our creator that through those powers supports the Israelites and gives them power. That's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, your problem is not with the Israelites. Your problem is Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Another brother asked me, he says, the modern nation state of Israel is not the heir of God's promises to ancient Israelites. Brother, this is a theory that a lot of Palestinians, unfortunately, are propagating. It's just, there's lots of animosity between the Israelites and the Palestinians. And it's just, they make all kinds of accusations. The Israelites also say it was the Palestinians who caused Hitler to commit all the crimes he committed. So this is just a nonsense. You're in a fight and you're just, people are fighting each other and they're producing a lot of lies and accusations and things like that. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. The Jews, many Jews were taken by the Romans to Europe. Jews are very strict in terms of marrying amongst themselves. And of course, there are some of them that are going to marry to other nations, other people and things like that. But majority, for the vast majority of them, they marry with each other. And that's how it has been. There's so many of them in Yemen, so many of them in Iran, Iraq, and they all came together. They're all coming down. Now, it doesn't mean that all of them are 100% like pure genetics, but that's okay. That has never been the case. Let me give you an example. Moses, when he comes to Midian, he actually married Shu'aib's daughter. Shu'aib was not the Israelite. He married Shu'aib's daughter, but all Moses' children were considered Israelites. So this thing that you have in your mind that these people are not Israelites, this is not correct. This is racist. This is kind of, let's not lower the discussion to that level. You have to open your eyes and see the reality. If you want to close your eyes and you want to refuse and to see the reality, then there's no one in this world can help you. That is just simply not the correct argument at all. And if you read the Bible, you see a lot of Israelites who married into neighboring nations, but their children the children were considered Israelites. And so that's how it was, that's how it is, and it is still the same case. So these people are the Israelites, but not the entirety of them. This is a very narrow remnant of the Israelites that were from Judah. So so this group of Israelites does not include the 10 lost tribes of Israel. I have videos on that topic. Those 10 lost tribes of Israel were mostly settled in western, northwestern Iran, and some of them actually in southwestern Iran. Later on, during the Babylonians, again, a group of Israelites from Jews were also settled in what is known today as Iran and Iraq border over there. And and then there were many other Israelites that converted to Christianity and later on also converted to Islam. So these Israelites have been scattered all over the world, and some of them actually might be Muslim right now, some of them might be Christians. They're all over that region. What you have today as the state of Israel, this is a narrowed remnant of the people who used to live in Judah. And these were the people who basically rejected Jesus Christ, son of Maryam, and the Romans just took them to Europe, some of them, and some of them went to various other places in the Middle East. Peace and blessings to all of you.